What's up, Tea Tribe? This is Alyssa Amoroso, aka Publyssity, who is ready to spill the tea. Because this is Tea with Publyssity. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tea with Publyssity. I am your host, Alyssa Amoroso, and today's episode is presented by my favorite Tequila Hard Seltzer, Mamitas. Mamitas is a hard seltzer made with real tequila. You guys know tequila is my drink of choice. I did a Q&A recently, and someone asked me what my go-to drink is, and I said just tequila with club soda and lime, and it's because I've been waiting for a hard seltzer that is made from tequila. I feel like all of the other ones are either like beer or vodka, and that's just like, I don't drink those things. So this is actually my favorite thing ever, and it's only 95 calories with 5% ABV, so you know it will get the job done, especially now that we're in spring and summer is just around the corner. Mamitas comes in 4 delicious flavors: mango, pineapple, Paloma, and lime. I love them all. I'm actually going to do a fun little taste test video for you guys, so stay tuned for that on my TikTok. You can get them in 4-packs or variety packs of 8. It's mucho delicious. So be sure to get yours and follow at Drink Mamitas. If you are looking for their handle, it is tagged in the bio of my Tea with Publyssity account on Instagram. So yeah, everything's there. And also, if you're not following me on Tea with Publyssity on Instagram, please do. I would love if you guys can. I'm trying to grow that account. It's such a good way for me to communicate with you guys and DM and all of that. Speaking of DMs, I have on my list here, one of the things I want to get into this week is why I regret answering my DMs. Not to you guys, not the Tea Tribe. I love answering you guys. But I mentioned last week, there's been some dudes DMing me, and I've entertained very few of them. I've answered maybe 2 or 3 guys. And this one guy that I answered, the reason why I stopped answering him is because I just noticed that he was such a huge Barstool fan, and it was freaking me out because I just feel by the way, hi Mackenzie.
Hi guys, what's up?
I was wait, Mackenzie has the mic on. I started noticing that, I was watching the stuff on his profile, and he was doing pizza reviews, huge Dave Portnoy fan.
Oh, wait, what?
And just huge Barstool fan.
Yeah.
And so I stopped answering him, and then he messaged me at 1 a.m. this weekend and was I think you should really reply to me. And just being really I don't know. He's just messaged me a few times without me responding, and now I regret ever responding to begin with because now he thinks I owe him an explanation.
Right,
and it's
which
I
is
don't
ridiculous.
know you. I messaged you once when I had a fever because I was bored.
Tired and sexy.
Yeah, I was feeling tired and sexy. That's exactly it. And I answered in a moment of weakness. And this is the thing. I'm not opposed to talking to people, but I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you a response. No. Just as you don't owe me one. We're not dating. I don't know you. We've never met. I don't know. So it's just rubbed me the wrong way. And now I'm kind of regretting answering some people because once you allow people into your DMs, then they have access to you.
Yep.
So you get into this weird, murky territory.
You just gotta leave them on red.
Yeah. And then it's awkward. But Instagram actually has this feature called Restrict, which I'm a big fan of. It's not blocking someone. It's basically you hit restrict and they can comment on your posts, but little do they know the public can't see it.
Oh, wait,
so it's
really?
A way for creators to block trolls without giving them the satisfaction of knowing that they're blocked.
Oh, wait, that's so cool.
Yeah, so they think they're still interacting with your shit, but they're not.
And then they won't harass you being unblock me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really cool feature.
And then they get put into the other section of your inbox where it doesn't show that you're reading their messages.
Oh.
So for a creator, it's actually amazing because you don't give the troll the power.
Yeah.
But you also kind of blocked them.
Yeah, you can't see their stuff
so
anymore.
Yeah, so that's a trick. If you guys have a creator profile, you could just restrict people. I started this is so savage, but I started restricting so many people that I liked just because I didn't want them to know I was reading their DMs. Then I started noticing that they couldn't comment on my stuff.
Oh.
So then I had to go back and unrestrict all. Like I
yeah.
didn't realize at first I was using it wrong.
Oh,
I thought it was like a way for me to like mark as unread so I can go back and read it at a later date. And then I'm like, wait, no, I'm totally using this wrong. So don't do it like that. But
now you know.
Now, yeah, exactly. Now you know.
Now everyone knows.
Also, I did mention at the top of the episode, like 5 seconds ago, that you should follow me on Instagram. But also what you should do is I'm doing a merch giveaway on my TikTok. So part of that giveaway, you could just reference that video. It's basically all you have to do is follow Publyssity on TikTok and Instagram, and follow Tea with Publyssity on TikTok and Instagram. So those 4 accounts, comment done, and then I'm going to select a few people to give them my self-care club like jogger sets, like the jogger pants and the crew neck. So it's like super easy. The chances are pretty good. So you could reference my TikTok for that if you need clear instructions, but basically it's just following those 4 accounts and commenting done. So I just want to let you guys know that in case you are interested in potentially winning some merch. And then this past weekend was Easter, so just giving you guys my little personal life update as I do. I actually didn't go home for Easter just because of a corona scare, even though it's weird because like I'm fully vaccinated and my family's fully vaccinated. So like you think it'd be fine, but like I know that my parents are anxious about the virus, so like I'm not going to put them in a position where they feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
So I spent Easter alone in the city. Did you go home or did you even celebrate?
Yeah, I went home.
Yeah.
To see my family.
I mean, it was a bummer. Like I was originally really upset, but you know what? I actually wound up having like the nicest day yesterday.
Yeah.
So I booked a SoulCycle class with my friend. And we went, I think it was like a noon class or something, and it was outside at Hudson Yards. Usually I do the Tribeca location. Hudson Yards, like, it was fine. I like that, obviously it's outside, but what I didn't like is that I felt like a animal in a cage at a zoo when everyone's like looking and tapping on the cage trying to get the animal to like jump and react because it was like in the middle of such a public.
Yeah, it's like a touristy spot,
It
right?
was touristy. People kept taking videos and pictures.
Oh, God.
And I was sitting on the outskirts, so I'm prime.
Like right on the edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like every video, every picture I'm in.
Yeah.
And also like, I don't know, it was giving me anxiety. Like I almost couldn't be as present in the class.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I feel like people are videoing me. Not like me specifically, like I'm anyone, but I just mean
Like
the class in
in the
general.
video.
And I'm
Yeah.
in it
Yeah.
sweating,
Yeah.
trying to work out. I'm like, this isn't what I signed up for. So I think next time what I would do is book a seat that's like more in the center, so I'm not so distracted. I think being on the edges is like what gave me that vibe. But overall, it was just like such a nice way to start my day. I went to SoulCycle, went into Lululemon to buy something, like the whole 9. We walked around, and then I talked about this a little bit on my Instagram story, so some of you may have heard the story, but because it was Easter and because it's a holy day, I just felt like I kept seeing like really nice acts of kindness, which just made me feel good since I like wasn't with family and I wasn't alone. It just like made me feel nice to see people doing such nice things.
Yeah.
And there was this woman on the subway when I got on. She was like not wearing shoes. She was changing, like literally like putting new pants on.
What?
Like she wasn't naked because she was almost like kind of putting on layers.
Oh, okay.
But still like barefoot changing. And you know, as New Yorkers, when someone's doing something like that, you're just immune to always seeing weird stuff happen. So you just like headphones in, tune it out, don't make eye contact.
Yeah,
that's
ignore,
like the vibe. Ignore.
Yeah.
So I'm ignoring. And then this other woman gets on at the next stop, and the woman that was changing commented on her hair. She was like, I love your hair. So then the woman was like, oh, thanks, whatever. She got roped into conversation.
Oh,
like,
no.
you know, like once you
Yep.
engage, then there's no going back.
Yeah, exactly.
So now she's completely roped into conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, this poor girl. But I had my
Right.
headphones in, and then I just hear them like talking. And she's like telling her about where she gets her eyelashes done and
Oh, my
how
gosh.
she can't afford anything, but she loves to get her eyelashes done. And this is blah, blah, blah. So they're talking. And then the girl that was being super nice, engaging with her, took out like a bagel, like an everything bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese to eat it. And first of all, I don't know why anyone's eating like on the subway in a pandemic.
Not a great look.
But like, regardless, ended up being really nice. And so she takes out a bagel, starts eating the bagel. I'm looking at this screen in here, guys, because Nick's supposed to be on my podcast in 10 minutes and I see him.
Oh my
I think
God.
about to start recording the rundown.
Yeah, that is what they're doing. Maybe. Oh yeah, he put the microphone on.
He's mic'd.
Oh, we love that.
Okay, so we might be a little delayed with Nick, but I'm like looking because we have a screen in here where I could see what's going on in the office, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to be talking to you in 9 minutes. But anyway, so long story short, the woman comments on the bagel. The girl sitting gives the bagel to the other woman, and it was just such a nice like act of kindness. Like she literally was opening it to take a bite out of the bagel, and then she fully gave it to this other woman.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, and the other woman was like, thank you so much. Like, I'm so hungry. Like, it means so much to me.
Yeah.
And I was just so touched. Then she gave her soda.
Oh my gosh.
Then we're coming up on 14th Street, and the woman had to get off of the train, but she had her stuff sprawled all out because she was changing.
Right.
So then this other nice woman that gave her the bagel is helping her collect all her belongings.
Oh my gosh.
Holding the subway door for her, getting her off the train. I was like, you're going above and beyond.
Yeah, exactly.
Now. Like,
Especially
you're literally
like during the time that we're in, like you try to stay away from people no matter
That's
what.
exactly it. I was like, you're being so kind.
Like making extra effort.
So I wanted to acknowledge it. So like when she sat back down, I said to her, like through my mask, I was like, that was really nice what you did. And she was like, I know what it's like to be hungry. It was the least I could do.
Oh, wow. That's so sweet.
And I just felt like so touched. And it was just such a nice reminder to just like do nice things for people.
And like restores your faith in humanity a little bit.
It made me feel so like much happy. I was like, this is so nice that you just did that.
Yeah, no, that's so nice.
And then like another guy later on in the day, got on the subway and this guy offered to stand up so I could take his seat.
Oh.
And I didn't. But like, again, just the gesture.
Right, yeah.
I was like, what is in the air today? Like, why are New Yorkers being so nice?
Yeah, like what is it?
God bless.
Easter. Yeah, like giving of Easter or whatever.
Yeah, Godspeed.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was just really nice. So my weekend wound up actually being nice. And then I got my period. So I just like laid on the couch and made mac and cheese. And that was my big like Easter meal.
Yeah.
And I had a nice time.
Yeah,
like,
great excuse to do that though.
Yeah. So that's that. Another thing that happened to me this weekend that was like like kind of embarrassing, kind of weird, also wild. So I think it's weird, guys, because I've been an influencer like for 5 years, but no one ever recognizes me from Instagram. Like very rarely does anyone, maybe like I could count the 10 times on my hand in 5 years that people on the street have like stopped me.
Yeah.
But because of TikTok, like TikTok's such a more recognizable platform, whereas I feel like you just get stopped. Like I've been stopped within the last 3 months from TikTok way more than I ever was stopped in 5 years from Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
So this past weekend I was at the mall with my friends. We went to Bloomingdales and I'm wearing a mask. So I'm thinking, you can't see
really
who
would
I
recognize anyone. Yeah.
And I see the cutest freaking Pomeranian puppy I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm like, I see this dog and I'm like, oh my God. And like I go to bend down to like look at the dog. And as I'm looking at the dog, this the girl with the dog is, I'm screaming at the dog. She's screaming over
For
me.
you. Yeah. Wait, that's so
it was
funny.
The trippiest thing I've ever had happen. And she was like, oh my God, I know you from Instagram. And I was like,
wait, what?
What? Like, I'm stopping you because of your dog.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
right.
it was just, so it was such a weird, like, funny experience.
Yeah, that's really cool, though.
And, but also I was wearing my mask, so I'm like, how did she know who I was? And then my friend was like, you're literally wearing your self-care club hat.
Oh,
like,
yeah, true, yeah.
Huge Barstool logo on it.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty recognizable.
So that was funny. Like, whenever something like that happens, you kind of get that, like, imposter syndrome that we've talked about.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, what?
You're like, wait, I wanted to pet your dog, and now you're so recognizing me? What's happening?
And it was weirder for my friends than it was for me because it's happened to me, but usually I'm alone.
Yeah, you're like used to it at this point.
They were like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
So like, guys, it's just I think it's really just TikTok, if I'm being honest. Obviously, I think Barstool also, but TikTok's just a crazy platform because it's just like everyday people becoming recognizable.
Yeah. It's crazy too because if you look at someone like Dave Portnoy, like he's become a lot more relevant because of TikTok, even though he already was relevant. But
that's what's crazy.
I guarantee you there's people who only know him from his TikTok, which is crazy.
All the younger people.
Right, exactly. And he's like with doing the BFFs thing. But yeah, it's like he has this whole empire, but so many people don't even know what it is just because TikTok's just such a force.
That's what I'm saying. It's like really weird.
Yeah.
Like I have like older people stop. It's like, what? Like I can't even explain it. So if you guys want to become an influencer, honestly, join TikTok.
Just do TikTok.
I'm
yeah,
not kidding.
Honestly.
Like really, that's my marketing advice.
Yeah.
Like I think that it is such a brilliant platform for getting like recognized and growing a following. I've never seen anything like it.
No, and you just need one video that'll go viral, and then you kind of just build off that because people will start following you.
I think that's what it was. It was me doing. Like I've gone viral before, but most recently for the guys in the office rating the female products that reached like 10 million people.
It's crazy.
So I think that's like what it was, but it's just really trippy when it happens because you're like, I made a 60-second video.
Right.
Like,
yeah. You're like, wait, 10 million people wanted to see that or did see it?
So crazy.
Yeah, that is very bizarre.
It's really trippy. And yeah, guys, like I'm not saying all of that to be like, this is who I am. I'm saying it because it's like so weird that this happens.
Right.
And like I like being honest and like telling you guys what's going on in my life. And it's all just like part of my journey. And I don't know. I guess I haven't really talked about like dating in a bit or I talk about like people DMing me, but I haven't really talked about like a personal life update in the sense of like things I've been up to outside of just like the weekly happenings. I think one thing I've been doing a lot more of is going to SoulCycle because now that it's warmer outside, I can go back to the outdoor classes. And for me, like fitness aside, it's obviously an amazing workout. You burn like 500 to 600 calories, but fitness aside, it is so good for my mental health. Like I feel so clear when I take a class because the music and you're just like, your phone's down, and I'm obviously super addicted to my phone. So for me to have my phone down for an hour,
like you have to.
Yeah.
It forces you.
Exactly. Like it's just really nice for me.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that. I went yesterday. I'm going today. So I did Sunday, Monday. I'm going Wednesday and Sunday again. So I'm trying to do like 3 days a week, I would say. And then the days that I'm not doing spin, I'm going to do just like some exercises, whether it's going for a walk in the morning or just doing something at home. I'm trying to just like up my working out. Just like not even just for weight, but just for like mental health and just everything, energy.
Like feeling better,
Yeah, exactly. Just feeling healthier. So I'm working on that. I started that love book. I haven't been consistent with it. I need to get back into it. It's one of those things where like if you miss a day, just pick it back up. Like it's not the end of the world. And then I'm trying to think. Obviously, I go to therapy still every week, which is just like sometimes I don't even know what we talk about. Like I'll talk to her about like the most random thing and then somehow we'll like tie it back to something that happened to me when I was a child that like
opens up all these like other emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's so crazy. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but then I'm like uncovering this weird thing.
Yeah.
I think the thing I've made the most progress with in therapy, which I'm like actually really proud of, and like I don't even know if it's because of therapy, it was kind of more of like a self-realization, which I think I've talked about a little bit on the podcast, but I used to tie such a huge part of my identity to what I do for a living. Like I was a publicist, I was an influencer, I was a podcast host, and my worth was tied up in my job.
Yeah.
Whereas now I feel like really disconnected from that, where I'm like, my worth is like being a good friend, being a good sister, caring for people. Like it's not my job.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I've made the most progress because I've been able to disassociate what I do and who I am. Whereas like it's always been one.
Yeah. Like it's not like your whole personality.
Exactly. And it was for years. Like I always, since 2013, since I graduated college, was like, I am what I do for work. And now I feel like I'm pretty disassociated from it in a good way, in a healthy way, where I'm like, that's my job and I love it and I'm passionate and I throw myself into it. But like, it's not who I am.
Right. It's like part of you, but it's not the whole thing.
Exactly. So I think that's like the biggest progress that I've made, which is great because it just stems from like a deep place of like never feeling like I was a smart kid. That's like a whole nother thing that I could uncover. I do want to have someone on the podcast. I'd love to have Caitlin Bristow. I need to like reach back out to her. Yeah, because she always talks about she didn't go to college and like, she didn't feel like she was a smart kid, and now she's wildly successful.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
And a lot of people that you talk to and that you meet, they are wildly successful, but they weren't good students.
Yeah.
And I think there's like this really weird, like interesting correlation. I actually even want to like ask people around the office because I know like,
oh, there's so many people here that didn't go to college.
So many people.
Yeah. Or like dropped out because they got the job here. Like
exactly.
It's very common actually.
And even if you look at some of the biggest like entrepreneurs or like multimillionaires. So I think there's like something really interesting tied to like worth.
Yeah.
And schooling, and I do want to like dig into that one day. Okay, guys, I've gone on like enough of a tangent now. We will grab Nick. I still see him recording, but you guys won't realize because we'll slice this together and it's gonna flow. So we will grab Nick. I will have my interview with him. If you don't know who Nick is, that I keep referring, when I did those videos showing the guys in the office identifying female products, he's the one that knew what the period cup was, and you guys were in my DMs literally going insane over Nick. Everyone's calling him the woke king, the period cup guy. I also posted on Instagram stories that he was coming on my podcast, and I've never in my life been flooded with so many thirsty DMs.
Oh my God.
I was like, Nick, you're a hot commodity.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You guys, you little sluts.
Everyone's a slut for Nick.
Everyone's like, is he single? Like,
oh my God.
I
so
love
funny.
him. I'm DMing him, whatever. I'm kidding, guys, by the way. And I was just like dying, and I told him, and he's like really humble and really awkward when he talks about dating. So I'm going to try to make things even more awkward and just like see if we can get some answers out of him.
Oh my gosh.
So that's that. I'll jump into my episode with Nick. He's going to join me for the Ask Alyssa segment, and then I will spill the tea because I have strong freaking opinions as normal. So I am excited. Okay, guys, here's my interview with Nick. All right, guys, we are back with Nick Turani. Did I say that right?
I never correct people. Nobody ever says my last name right. So yeah, we'll roll with that one.
Well,
today.
what would it be if you were correcting me?
Turani.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa, I was not expecting.
Like number 2, not like poop, but like number 2, rainy, like weather.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Terrainy.
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of sounds like terrain. Like it sounds like an outdoor climate type of last name.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know the language of origin really. I just know that people don't really say it right. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but that's what I've been rolling with for a little bit. Oh yeah.
No. It's fine. I mean, even I say my own last name wrong sometimes.
Amoroso?
Amoroso. But
okay.
I say, I'm so American. Like, I'm like Amoroso.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's probably Amoroso.
Okay.
If you were really being correct, but.
Nah. Yeah.
People like always say, remember that girl Omarosa from.
Yeah, she was like.
What's it called?
She was on The Apprentice.
Yes.
Yeah.
People say it with an A at the end a lot.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, no, there's no.
Amorosa.
All O's. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are going to be neighbors very soon.
Yeah. I think we are already.
Oh, you're in?
Yeah.
Wait, when did you move?
Last Friday.
We won't tell anyone where because
sure,
there's some creeps out there.
Plenty.
But all I'm going to say is we're like 500 feet away.
Yeah, definitely. We are close. We'll I almost just gave it away. I'm done talking about that.
Yeah. So we will see each other is probably. I've seen. Okay, you know what's kind of awkward about the dynamic of living near someone that you work near? I saw, what's his name? I want to say his name's Jack. I know no one's names. I saw
Jack does live down there.
Oh,
fuck. Up there.
In the middle.
West.
Way over there.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I always say to people, I'm like, I live downtown, but that's all I'll give you.
Okay.
I'm not going to say like where, because downtown's anywhere under 30th Street. You know what I mean? So anyway. Jack, I saw him on the subway, and it's this awkward dynamic of you're in a mask, I'm in a mask. Is it you? Like, oh, hi. And then you have to wave, and then you're riding the subway, and then you're like, do we now walk into work together?
Like, are we going to commute? Like,
So the good thing about me, and it's maybe the only good thing, is I am too self-conscious to make eye contact, so I'll just be staring at my feet. So you'll never have that problem. I'll never see you.
So we won't even look at each other.
No chance.
No chance.
No.
Yeah, him and I both kind of like, it was like the awkward, like, ooh.
Is
Yeah.
it not?
like
Yeah.
we know each other, but.
And then we like got off the subway, and then we're walking to the office together. And then like I wanted to get my iced tea, my signature.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to cut a left, but right is to the office. So now we're in convo. And, mid convo, I had to be like, you know what? We'll finish this back up at the office. I'm going to go get my iced tea.
And have you? Have you finished the convo?
Never.
Damn.
That's too bad.
It's so, it's one of those things. But all right. So, yes, now that we're neighbors.
We are, yeah.
I'm already trying to set you up with one of my friends.
Oh, please. Just please. You've ruined my life.
Yeah, because now there's a lot of girls coming for you.
Yeah.
Because you are the woke king.
I don't know how I earned that. I just knew I knew one period cup. I knew a diva cup. And now this, I never asked for this.
I didn't sign up for this.
Next one, I'm going to just get so wrong. The next time you do it, I'm going to be like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, like
Why would I care?
I'm a dude.
Ugh, gross.
That's the thing. I said I single-handedly am going to get every guy at this office laid because my audience is 84% females.
Oh, jeez.
So watch out.
Oh, God. Yeah, you just thrust me into this light that I never asked for.
Yeah, now that you are an internet sensation.
I prefer sex symbol.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. I would go by that too if I had to choose. So the ladies want to know, the ladies in my DMs, let's just say, and there's a lot of them. A lot of them told me they've been reaching out to you. What's your take on that? Do you not like to answer DMs?
I don't. I'm way too. It's nothing against them. I'm sure they're all equally beautiful and would be great for me. That's just not really my scene. I don't.
Not your aesthetic.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm too shy.
Well, I was saying to Mackenzie in the pod earlier, I made the mistake of answering like 2 guys since I've started. And now the floodgates are opened.
Yeah.
And now now they have access. And it's a bad move.
It's a bad move, and it's just not something I just don't answer any DMs.
Yeah. Okay.
But early in my career here, I've only been here for about a year and a half. 6 months in, my phone number leaked. Somebody tweeted out my resume, and I left the Yak, the radio show I'm on, and I had like 600 missed calls.
No.
And I was just like, I don't want to change my number. So I just waited it out. And now I'm like one of those cool guys. Whenever I post a screenshot, it's like, damn, this dude has 500 unread texts.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What a cool dude. It's all just people calling me slurs, sending me pictures of dicks. But that I started picking up some of the calls just to be like, what, do you think this is okay? And it was like on radio, and they would like back off. But now it opened up that floodgate to where now they'll just text me like, hey, like, did you have dinner yet? I'll be like, come on, man.
No.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, man. Okay. So, girls.
But I did end up changing my number.
It's changed. So no one, DMs aren't going to work. They're just not going to work.
Yeah.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 28.
It's different with guys because sometimes girls, I feel like, would be like, you can't ask how old I am. But then with guys, I'm like, so.
Oh, yeah.
So how old are you?
It's perfectly fine. And especially in this office, it's really hard to tell how old some people are. Like, I use Vibs, the guy at Lowering the Bar, for an example. I would guess anywhere between 13 and 13 and a half years old.
Yep, absolutely.
He's 31.
Okay, so when I first started, someone said to me that there was a 19-year-old that works here. I assumed it was Vibs.
Sure.
Dead seriously. Like, 100%. I was like, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
And then I said to someone, like 3 weeks in, I was like, oh, yeah, the young guy, Vibs. And they were like, huh? He's like your age or how old? 30.
Yeah,
he's older
he's
than
30,
me.
yeah.
And I'm like, What?
Yeah.
That's not the 19-year-old?
He must moisturize or something, but he looks great. He's going to look great
Well,
for a
I've
while.
given him under eye patches.
I saw that. That's much needed. He doesn't sleep too much.
So who is the 19-year-old?
Lil Sasquatch.
That's what I thought. Okay. The funny kid. Well, everyone's funny.
I think it's his birthday today.
Today's his birthday. He's
So
no
he's
longer a
20 now.
teen.
Oh,
No more teens in the office. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is a little confusing. Okay, 28.
Yeah.
You're living alone.
I am.
I did get a question later on that we will touch on
Oh, gee.
about living alone.
I am so nervous right now. Okay.
I kind of like to make the men in this office squirm a little bit.
Doing good.
Because it's a little out of your comfort zone, I assume.
Yeah.
Do you talk about your dating life on any of your shows?
Nobody knows anything about me. I will talk and I will never tell the truth. Nobody knows anything about my personal life at all.
Are you one of those people that you'll always keep it that way, do you think?
Definitely.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, I don't really post on Instagram. I post stories promoting like my podcast and stuff I'm on. I don't really tweet. I just kind of roll, just kind of exist.
That's so interesting to me because I feel like I come from the opposite end where I'm such an influencer. Although I've been an influencer for 6 years, 5 years. I've never put anyone I've been dating ever on social media.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You could scroll through all of my tweets, all of my pictures, and not figure out anything about me.
Wow, so they're very mysterious.
See, now you're trying to make it sexy. It's not. It's just at all. It's
just who you are.
It's
Yeah,
just who
you're
I
just
am.
not one of those people.
Yeah.
I can't relate in a sense I can because like I said, I've never put a relationship, but I'm kind of an open book.
Okay.
Like I don't really care.
Right, and that's very brave for anybody to do.
Yeah.
Because when you're putting something out there, you're opening yourself up for just anything.
Okay, so I was going to ask you that, and this is kind of deep, but like, is it a defense mechanism?
Oh yeah, I'm broken. I'm fucked up. No, I don't think so. I'm just I've always been really shy. I don't talk very much outside of the shows that I'm on.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah, I'm very, very different than how I'm conveyed.
So, okay, I have another question now because this opens up something that Mackenzie and I were talking about off air. When people ask me, they're like, what are the guys in the office like? Mm-hmm. I say, this might be insulting.
Yeah, it will be.
I'm like, they are the people that didn't play sports, but they talk about them.
For
and
sure.
now they smoke weed.
I don't. That's funny and accurate for a lot of people.
A lot of people, like, no one, you would think that it's jocks walking around.
Sure.
No one here even looks like they can catch a ball.
We are the least athletic people, but I don't even talk about sports.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I don't talk about sports, and I'm not athletic, and I don't do. I don't do any drugs.
That's cool too. You are very mysterious.
Yeah.
Like, not trying to be. You're just, you kind of look like you'd be someone that
No, I definitely
likes a drug.
Yeah, definitely. And like it's been my New Year's resolution. You've heard me say this. This is true. For like the past 5 years, I want to start smoking cigarettes. And I just cannot get hooked. I think it would look so cool. I just want to go
Just a
like
thing.
lean in the foyer of an art gallery and just smoke a cigarette and just be like, whoa,
Yeah, like go to Paris.
yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, with the cappuccino, a cig.
But I just don't like cigarettes. I don't like vices. I wish I did.
So do you drink?
Yeah, occasionally.
Okay. Interesting. I like what I'm learning. All right.
Oh,
so
boy.
So
I don't want to let all these ladies down either. It's like, oh, he's boring.
No. Are you kidding me? All girls want to hear is like, yeah, I go home, I watch Netflix. Like women secretly just want to wear sweatpants and like be lazy and like not do any. Like I feel like in the early 20s, it's like go out, get fucked up, like drink. And now for me, I just turned 30. It's like I don't want that. Like I was actually talking to a friend about that because they were asking me like, is there anyone at the office that you would date? And I was saying, I don't think a lot of them are on the level that like I'm looking for. And that's no slight to you because I'm just learning about you. But I'm like a lot of the people I feel like are still want to like party and drink and go out. And I'm like, I kind of just want like to go to dinner and like chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's that's significantly better. Like my least favorite day of the year is New Year's Eve. Like you're obligated to go out, and it's always a letdown. It's like, oh yeah, let's go wait in this crowded bar, and
It's the worst.
You pay like $100, $300 just to go in.
yeah.
I did this TikTok that is things in New York City that you think will be fun but aren't, and it went like super viral. One of them was New Year's Eve. I was like, you think it's gonna be fun? It's freaking miserable. You're spending so much money, and everyone in the comments was like, "Wow, you sound really fun."
No, it's just like, yeah, if you want to go hold your piss for like 7 hours and then watch this thing drop and leave, like it's horrible.
And be freezing.
People wear diapers to that.
Like the adult depends. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, you can't leave your spot. Like if you're in Times Square.
Yeah, on my list was that SantaCon.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like,
So
not fun.
I've only lived here. I moved here right at the beginning of the pandemic. So I've not experienced really any New York.
Wait, where did you move from?
Columbus, Ohio, but I'm from West Virginia.
Wow. Everyone here is, I actually, like, my first moment talking to Trent, I made like a comment about how, I was like, yeah, I would never live in Iowa. And he was like,
no.
and he was like, yeah, I'm from there. And I was like,
And he like, yeah,
Sorry.
he's very proud. He wants to like go back and live there. Yeah.
it was like foot in mouth.
Yeah. No, I'm from like a really small town in West Virginia, and Kyle, KB, is from there as well.
Okay, so what makes someone that's like private, like likes the simpler things, want to be in a public job?
Didn't want to be. I applied here to be a graphic designer. That's what I interviewed for.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I interviewed with Quiggs and Loud Sean, two guys that are production guys for those listening and don't know them. Yeah. And then I had some tweets that had gone viral, and they're like, "Wait, would you ever want to do content?" And I said, "I'd write for somebody." They're like, "All right, we'll put you on like a year content thing," and then just
All of a sudden.
yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, this is the last thing I would have ever wanted.
Wow. Okay, it makes more sense now because
Yeah.
I was like, why are you in a public
No, I
job?
yeah. I was making graphics freelance for KB's blogs, and he was doing one on the best tailgate foods in each state, but they were all lies. So like Arizona was MDMA. And so I was making the graphic for that, and he was like, "Hey man, I bit off a little bit more than I could chew. I have to do 50 of these write-ups. Could you do a few?" And I did, and then he was like, "Hey, you're kind of funny." Kind of. Thank you. Coming from him, that's nice. Would you ever want to work here? And I said, yeah, but just as like graphics and then write for people.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I love it. Yeah, it's really interesting when you actually start to talk to people. We were saying earlier how I was a really bad student, and I feel like a lot of creative people are.
Yeah.
Were you a good student?
I wasn't good homework wise, and I never studied, but the things I liked to do, I was
like
good.
Your specialty things.
I can't do math. I don't know my sevens times tables at all. I can do 7 times 2. I know for a fact that's 14, but that's the extent. Anything above that, I'm done for.
I'm really bad at math, like alarmingly bad.
Yeah, I still have to, like when I tip, I have to count on my fingers. So
me
that's
too.
why I always tip very, very low.
I just don't like to spend a lot of money.
No,
because then
it's just that I can't do
that's it.
math. And then they feel bad. And they're like, okay, that's fine. The $2 tip makes sense.
No, I totally agree. And we were saying if we were to go around the office and ask people here, like if they were good students or if they dropped out of college, how many people would be like, yeah, no, I dropped out of school.
Yeah, I finished.
I finished too.
All right, look at us.
Hardly. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
No, I did finish. I did okay in college. I had like a 3.0, which is like basically my dad said you need to get above a 3.0 or we're pulling you out just to threaten me because I was such a bad student.
Yeah.
So I just got a 3.0.
Okay,
Like that's the kind of person I am.
I like that. I actually shouldn't have graduated college. I hope to God my mom and dad don't see this. They will. I shouldn't have graduated. I have my degree in web and graphic design. I was a web designer before this, and my final project was a website I had to make for a doctor. He came in, and I didn't finish it. I just didn't do it. I was just like, I'll get him next year. I was going to do a victory lap year, and it got to where the website wasn't finished, and a kid stood up in my class and just started having a seizure. And so my guy, the client that I had that I was presenting my unfinished website to, was like, I'm a doctor. I'll take him to the hospital. I got an A in the class. And then like I was just about to fail. And I would have been, this was like my senior capstone. I just put it off. I don't know why. I'm so pissed at myself. But if that kid, if you're still alive, thank you so much for my degree. But I should not have had it.
Wait, that's wild because also my senior capstone was also a website.
Yeah?
Oh my
Did you
God.
finish it?
Because everyone in media studies,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's just like what you do.
Yeah.
You know, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just make a website. It was self-fulfilling because I created a blog
Oh, wow.
for myself because I liked blogging.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my senior project. Like, with or without the senior project, I would have created the blog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
So
like,
this was just a boost for you.
so I actually didn't even do my senior project. I really was just like, here's my website
Mm-hmm.
that I like have on the side that
Yeah.
I have been completely doing for myself. Has nothing to do with school. Got an A.
There we go.
Okay, awesome. Let's get into the Ask Alyssa segment.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we'll learn even more about you when I hear your take on these things.
This is my nightmare.
No, I picked ones that I think
No, it's okay.
I think you will be okay with.
Yeah.
Okay. So this person said, I feel like you are a very determined person. Me, not you, but
Oh, yeah.
and
I was going to say, yeesh.
Not you.
and work very hard, but you are also a very strong proponent of self-care, aka the merch. Can you talk about how you know your limits in terms of working yourself too hard? I'm at a point where I'm afraid I'm a workaholic and I'm not doing the self-care that I need. Okay, so I thought this was interesting for a few reasons. One, like, do men do self-care?
I cut my fingernails.
But like not just I love that, but like not just like making yourself look good, but will you ever be like, I need to unwind, so like I'm gonna cook or like read a book?
I read a lot. I try to read 100 pages a day.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, but that's definitely gone down since I've started working here. But I try to read every day.
Like, yeah, like
I
are
do-
there things that you do for yourself to like I don't know. I've never really asked like a guy.
Yeah, so I try to just completely unplug when I leave here. So I can't tell you the last video game I've played, or like I don't really watch anything. I just try to completely be disconnected. I'll go on a walk. I'll try to find somewhere new. I read a lot.
See, okay, so that's interesting because I kind of do this. Well, I don't unplug because I'm addicted to my phone. But what I do and what my advice for this person is, if you feel like you're a workaholic, it's weird because I think I work so much and it's always on my mind, but I wouldn't say I'm a workaholic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I work and then I go home and I unwind. If I don't have that separation, then I would just never shut my brain off.
Yeah.
So you need to you could be a hard worker. I also work really fast.
Okay.
That's one thing I've noticed about myself.
Yeah.
So like before I worked here, like when I was working in PR, what would take me 30 minutes might take someone else 2 hours because they're overanalyzing it.
And did you feel guilty for getting done so quickly?
Kind of, but I was kind of
did.
like, what's taking you so
Yeah.
long? Like, I didn't get it. I was like, why are you, so like, I kind of just like, when I'm productive, I'm so productive. And when I'm not productive, I'm not productive at all. I think creative people kind of operate that way though.
I think so. I wouldn't call myself a workaholic, but there's such a fine line between work and like, I enjoy what I do.
Yeah, because our work filters into our everyday.
Right. So I do a travel video series with a couple of the guys here. Donnie, I don't know if you've met him, and Kyle. And a lot of there's a ton of prep work that goes into that, but that's fun. It's reaching out and seeing some things we could do. So yeah, I'm always doing it. So I'll be gone for the next week.
Yeah.
But it's enjoyable. I like doing it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. So I think in terms of so I guess the question here is, at what point you're afraid that you're a workaholic and you're not doing enough self-care? So I think basically like you need to separate the two and you need to have time for yourself. Like what I like to do is same thing, like go for walks, like love going for a walk, being with friends. You could work really hard and not make it your entire life.
Yeah.
There has to be a separation.
I think it's good to have a baseline a friend or a family member that will just be like, hey, where have you been? It's somebody that's good to keep you in check.
Yeah, no, totally. So definitely make that time. I feel like, again, one last thing, since I get in creative bursts. So like I'll have weeks where I'm working so hard and then I'll have weeks where I'm like lazy.
Yeah.
Like I just can't control it sometimes.
Sure. And then if you force it, it's very apparent.
Exactly. So you just kind of need to roll with it.
Not you specifically. I'm not calling you out.
No, I know.
No, when you force it, you suck.
You suck. No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one. I am currently looking at apartments by myself as I move into the next chapter of my life after college. I've always had roommates, and I'm terrified of feeling lonely and disconnected from my friends, especially since I'm such an extrovert. Any tips for me as I prepare to live on my own? This is where I said the living, because we both live alone.
We do. Yeah.
I think for you, don't you have a friend that lives in your building?
No, I have a friend that lives near, and then a guy Kyle again. He's looking at a unit in my building.
Oh, looking. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so I think that's a tip. Like, live alone, but have a friend nearby.
And I really like being alone.
Me too.
More than most, I think. A lot. But yeah, I was afraid at first. I think everybody is.
Yeah.
But it's awesome.
I agree. I think, here's the thing. I almost feel like I make more plans now that I live alone because you don't just have that person that you know you're going to see when you come home. So I feel like I reach out to friends a lot more. For me also, I have a few friends that are like within my area where I live. So for me, it's easy to be like, it's actually been great because now that everyone's working from home, on 12 p.m. on a Tuesday, I'm like, hey, you want to go for a walk? And my friend will just meet me on the corner and we'll go for a walk. So it's like kind of good. Live alone, but you have to make sure that you're either around people. If you don't have friends in your area, make new friends. And I think it's great to just kind of like explore. I don't know though, because I've become really used to my alone time too.
I'm picking up that you like hosting though. Like if you have people, you plan you're like, okay, I'm having people this weekend. You plan the itinerary. You have it all set.
I'm kind of one of those people. This is how I explain it. Okay. Say you and I are going on a trip together.
Sure.
But you love the details, like planning. I'll take a step back and I'll just let you own it. That's your thing. If I could tell that you're not planning a single thing, I'm making every reservation. It's kind of like I step up to be in charge as needed. But if someone else is doing it, I'm not going to like butt heads with them.
Sure.
You get what I mean?
I do. Yeah. I'm the opposite. I kind of just fly by the seat of my pants.
I used to be, and it's so funny because I used to be like super, like I used to consider myself so chill. Like I'd be like, I'm so laid back. As I've gotten older, I'm like, damn, like I am a Capricorn, like my sign. Like they say Capricorns are like workhorses. Like,
okay.
So, and I'm like, I am exactly everything they say I am.
Yeah.
But I could still be like chill and go with the flow. But I feel like within my group of friends, sometimes we're all kind of chill and go with the flow. So someone has to be the person to make the plan. So then I'm usually that person.
See, yeah, not me. I don't think I've ever made a reservation in my life, and I never will.
So if you were dating a girl and she would like to take charge, you'd be fine with it?
Yeah, by all means. For sure.
My sister said her and her husband, she's like, we've been living together for too long during the pandemic because suddenly he can't make any choices on his own. He'll be like, Jackie, which shoes should I wear today? She's like, are you kidding me?
Can you figure
like,
it out?
How did you get along? How did you get by without me?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to be you. Like, you're going to be like, so like, what should I eat for dinner tonight?
Yeah, what should I do here?
When you just start like relying on someone so much.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess in terms of back to the question, living alone, I mean, enjoy your alone time, make friends, invite friends over. You just have to like go a step out of your comfort zone to make more plans, I would say.
Yeah. And if you're like, living alone is something to be proud of. Like everything is yours. It's your space. You've done everything. You've got to a point where you can live alone. If
That's
you choose
so
to be.
true.
It's just really something to hang your hat on.
Yeah. It's like take pride in it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing for me too. When I first moved in, I was like obsessed with keeping it clean because I was like, this is my space.
Can't blame it on anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. I'd like your take on friendship breakups or distancings. 3 to 4 years out of undergrad, and I feel like there's an obligation to stay close with people just because we've been close for so long or because they were really significant in one point of my life. For example, my best friends from college. I feel like when I became friends with them, I was a very different person than I am now. Basically, I feel like neither I or these people have done anything wrong in the friendship. I just feel like I can't connect as much with them anymore, and it's hard for me because I feel that constant obligation to continue seeing them or hanging out with them just because we have a past. It's been taking a toll on me. Okay, so how do you deal with this, or have you experienced anything like this, and any feedback for why it's okay to move on from friendships that are no longer serving you?
You're passing this one off to me? I think the second it feels like obligations, the second it's done. And it's not, it doesn't have to be a sad thing. It's just a natural thing. People grow apart, and it's not because of any animosity. It's because of distance, because of schedules.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And when you see them, if you have a chance encounter, if there's some sort of reunion, if you can only see them once a year, still be cool with them, but you don't have to be obligated to see them quarterly or
I totally agree.
If they're your friends, or if they're just some sort of character, and they should understand that.
It's true. And I want to have a larger episode on friendships, but there's this thing that I have in my head where it's like there's different levels of friendships, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have still, which is like really crazy, most of my best friends are from preschool.
Like, oh my God.
We go back. Like, I have my friends from preschool, middle school, high school. Like, we've stayed friends for all these years. Then I have my college friends. Then I have people I've met in the city. Mm-hmm. And then you have like your party friends, which like, there's different layers to things. So like I've had like falling outs, quote unquote, with like my party friends. And it's because like they weren't supposed to be my lifelong friends anyway.
No.
They were people when my friends got boyfriends and I needed someone to go out with, that I'd call them up and they'd fill the void of me like needing a friend. You have different like levels to friends, and you can't expect them all to like stay because you all move at different paces in your life.
Yeah. So from the sound of that, you have significantly more friends than I do. There's a lot more. But yeah, I still keep in touch with people. I mean, that's where social media is really cool.
Yeah.
Just double tapping their pictures, like, hey, I'm still here.
Well, I think in general though, men have less friends, like in terms of staying in touch. I think there's like a psychology like behind it. How like once men get married, their only friends are like their wife's friends' husbands. Like there's been like studies on it.
Sure. And I'll have friends that I haven't seen in years, but then when I see them out like at a bar, I'd go give them a hug, and it'll be like, we hung out yesterday.
Yeah, it's like nothing's ever passed.
Yeah, because what has changed? They just got fatter.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and like you have more wrinkles now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've aged. Okay.
And like maybe like a kid with like a wife that's already divorced.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got some divorced friends coming through the pipeline. It's wild. That's what's really scaring me. Like, wow, I'm getting older.
I just started like all of a sudden, I think me and my friends were talking about this, like the pandemic made me feel older. Like I aged so much. Like, I don't know if it's because we weren't going out as much and now like priorities have shifted. All of a sudden I'm like, I'm a whole ass adult. Like this is weird. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I unintentionally, unironically dropped to like, what is happening in this neighborhood? Like, I was like, because somebody's put their trash right next to the bin. I was just like, what is happening here? And then I was like, what has happened to me? I feel like I've become such a curmudgeon.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so since you're not from New York, are your friends already married and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That's
different. Yeah, my friends think I'm a bum because they all own their houses. Well, you can buy a mansion in West Virginia for like $900. And so they're just like, you own nothing. You sold your car to move here. And they just don't really quite get it.
It's a different world.
It's people have different definitions of success. And it's just a different mindset. And a lot of the times I'm jealous of them.
Yeah, because you're like, you're settled.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've
they
got
have
it
a house.
figured out.
They're living with their girlfriend, engaged, fiance, wife. And, I had PB&J on a hot dog bun for dinner last night. Just like, but we like, wow, we are very, very different right now.
No, it is interesting because I just turned 30 in January. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't feel weird that I'm single because all my friends are single. Yeah. Everyone's single. Because all my friends are in New York. Mm-hmm. I'm from New Jersey. So it's like everyone lives in New York. And when you look at other people in other areas, it's like they're on their like third. When I look at even people from college, they're on like their third kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck? Like that sometimes makes me feel behind. But then in my life, I don't at all. I'm like,
it's not a
everyone's
race,
single.
But
it isn't.
Yeah.
But I think there's societal pressure, right? Mm-hmm. Like even the way like all your friends, you're kind of like, oh, like I kind of want to be on the same life stage as my friends.
Yeah.
But you're just not. Like,
it's just, I don't know. It's just not who we are. And I guess that's why we're here.
No, I agree.
I mean, there's this New York bubble that people think like it's, we're not looking at the outside. I think it's more people looking in. I don't know. It's, I'm getting way too deep for who I am.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't even remember what this question was. Distancing
friends.
from friends. Yeah, it's fine.
It's just very normal.
What I was going to say before is that I think the best types of friends are the ones that you don't have to talk to every day.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go a year without talking, and then you hang out and it's like nothing ever changed.
Yeah, and catching up is fun.
Yeah. I think social media's made it like I shouldn't have to know what Joe Schmo from high school, who I'll never see again in my entire life, ate for dinner last night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's become too connected.
There's there's an oversharing problem for sure.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to stay in touch with every single person. Like, if social media didn't exist, who would you want to pick up the phone and talk to?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And then everyone else, you catch up because you see. I think sometimes for me, what's weird, and you don't really post a lot, but for me, people feel like they're catching up with me because I post my everyday.
Mm-hmm.
So they know what I'm doing.
Right.
But I'm like, but I don't know what you're doing.
Right.
It doesn't go
like,
both.
Yeah, it should go both ways. Like, yeah, I mean, they're choosing to,
Fair.
watch that.
But I think they assume I know what's going. Like, they kind of assume I know what's going on with them because they know what's going on with me. But I'm like, I have no freaking clue.
Yeah.
It's like
weird.
It's
very strange.
It's very strange. All right. Well, this was really deep and interesting. I think that the ladies will know now to back off the DMs.
Oh yeah, it's a huge compliment, but I get very embarrassed.
But they'll see you maybe on the street. They'll come up to you. I hear that you get stopped sometimes.
From who?
Someone was telling me they were eating out with you. I forget who was telling me this. And like a girl came up and like gave you her number. Who was telling me this?
I don't think that's true. But
No,
I
swear.
I do have a rule of thumb. If like I get very uncomfortable when people recognize me, and so I will be I'll be nice or take a picture or like talk to them, but I immediately go home. So
like your day's over.
Yeah, I immediately go home. You can ask like a ton of people about the most I'm ever out is like 15 minutes.
Wait, that's wild.
That's my rule of thumb. I'll just go home.
That happened to me this weekend. Someone came up to me and asked me for a picture. And like, I was not really that phased, but my friends were like, because I was with people, they were like, what was that? Like, they were freaking out. I was like, it's fine. Like, relax.
Yeah, it's something I've never asked for, something I never get used to. But not like when I'm out with some guys at work and it happens, I'll be like, all right, Nick, I'll see you later. Because they know I just can't.
I love that you just bounce.
I just leave. I am so good at leaving.
Oh, the Irish exit?
Shady dipping. Oh yeah, because I don't say a word. They won't. I'll be gone without a trace. But they know.
The shady dip it. Okay, wait. Any tips? Like, do you pretend like you're going to the bathroom and then you just exit out the back?
No, I don't even beat around the bush. I just leave.
Just bounce. Shady dipping. I like that.
Yeah, I like being in bed by like 10.
I only do that when I'm drunk.
Okay.
Like we'll be talking 1 minute. The next you turn around, where'd she go? I'm home. I'm tucked in.
No, I've been trying to do it from this podcast. I tried to sit there closer to the door. You'd be none the wiser.
I love it so much. All right. Well, thank you, Nick.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
I've never ended a podcast by saying, have a good one.
Yeah, it was. So that felt like a forever goodbye.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much.
That was such a funny way to end it.
I hope that turned out.
Okay, guys, let's spill the tea. Okay, I'm laughing because I went on a tangent about this topic this weekend. I called up my friend Jill, and I had such a strong opinion on this topic, and I'll get to it. And then as I'm defending my side, I start, because I'm just one of those people that sees both sides of every situation.
Yeah, like devil's advocate.
Yeah, as I'm so strongly defending my side, I start all of a sudden realizing all the counter thoughts for the other side of the argument. So now I have this well-rounded argument where I see both sides. So now I no longer know where I stand. So I'm going to give you guys the facts, and then I'm going to give you both sides of my argument, and you tell me how you feel, because this is the thought process that I went through. In the preview for Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the next episode, which I don't know which day it airs, but it will be airing this upcoming week, Addison Rae makes her debut.
Oh, wow.
And in the preview, Kim says Courtney doesn't really treat a lot of her friends like this. Addison sleeps over a few times a week.
Oh.
Or something about Addison sleeping over Courtney's. And
Yeah.
someone says, well, where does she sleep? And she says, in her room. So
In Courtney's room?
In Courtney's room.
Oh.
So I went into like, I started freaking out. Like I was like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Riddle me this. Okay, both sides of the argument. Riddle me this. You live in a multi-million-dollar mansion with probably 7 to 10 bedrooms.
At least, yeah.
Why is someone sleeping in your room with you?
Right.
Because
No matter who it is.
even if I'm sleeping at my sister's, because we were having this discussion,
Yeah.
she has a guest room, I would sleep in her guest room. I wouldn't sleep in her bed with her
Right,
at
yeah.
this point in our life.
Yeah.
We're adults.
Right, exactly.
So I'm like, that's weird. Then the other thing that I found extremely weird is like Courtney is 1 year older than Addison's mom.
That's so weird.
So then I went
to
down
think
this
about it.
spiral, being like my mom's friend, like my mom's best friend. I was like, Jackie, that's like you sleeping in mom's best friend's bed.
Right.
And she was like, ew, why do you have to go there?
And it's like not even like they hang out like they're normal friends too.
That's like you sleeping in someone's bed that's 1 year older than your mom.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So weird.
I'm sorry.
Weird.
Okay, now I'm going to counter.
Yeah.
Because so this was me. Like I was going off. I was like, this is creepy. This is inappropriate. Like I was flipping out.
Yeah.
Then I noticed the other side of the coin. I remember recently hearing that Kourtney Kardashian has a huge bed.
Oh, really?
Like, because apparently David Dobrik did a YouTube tour showing his new house and his bed was big.
Yeah, it was like ginormous.
Yes, and Kourtney said something about hers being bigger.
Oh, wow.
So to put this into perspective for you guys, it's probably like 3 king size beds in
Yeah.
one,
Yeah, definitely.
if not bigger. So then my counter argument was, well, if your bed's that big
Yeah.
and you're just hanging out in your room watching a movie or something, it's not that weird to fall asleep because like you're not even kind of near
Yeah,
the
you're in
person.
like different area codes pretty much.
Yeah,
Zip codes.
you might as well be like across the globe.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's so far.
Yeah.
Because even when I sleep in a king size bed with just one friend, we don't even come in contact.
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because you sleep on the ends.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You kind of like get to your side
Yeah.
and stay over there.
Okay, so then I was like, okay, that makes it feel a little bit more normal.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my other counter argument is when you're a celebrity, you're probably scared. Like, even though you have security,
Yeah.
it's probably scary for Kourtney to sleep in a mansion alone with her kids.
Yeah, that's very true.
So maybe it feels more comfortable knowing, like, the comfort of knowing that someone's there with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now knowing my two sides, because they're both good arguments,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, which do you think?
I don't know. I feel like it also depends on their relationship. Like, I don't know their relationship.
Same,
so
yeah.
it obviously depends on that. I do think, though, when you put it in the way as if you're sleeping with your mom's friend or sleeping in the same bed as like someone that's a year older than your mom, that is a very strange way to think about it.
So strange.
So strange. But yeah, I feel like if the bed's big enough and it just kind of like happens, you're watching TV or something and you just like don't want to move, it's not that weird.
So this was like, so then as I'm like explaining why it's so weird, I start realizing these other facts. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I completely disagree with everything that I just, I flipped.
Yeah.
And they're like, which one is it? I'm like, I don't know. Cause now I make some good points.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So we need the episode to air so we could get the details.
Like see fully what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel as though those are two well-rounded opinions on both sides.
No, definitely. Yeah. Because I can see both sides of it being super weird, but also not being weird.
This is literally my problem in life. And it's like not me trying to be a people pleaser. It's like I always see both sides to the point where it's almost like it's hard to have a clear opinion because I genuinely, I'm like, one of the things I've always done since I was a child is like put myself in someone else's shoes.
Yeah.
And like I can't control it. Like even if someone's being like bullied on The Bachelor, I'm like, well, you don't know what childhood trauma they went through that made like I can't
I know.
see it for what it is. So I never know what I'm feeling.
That's true. Which is honestly a good quality to have because then you're understanding to like everybody's like life is like whatever's going on.
It's draining though.
I know, true. Yeah, you're like got all these opinions, but you don't know which is right or wrong.
I know, I'm like, oh, you really see both sides.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing that I just want to spill the tea on was just another PSA. If you are not watching Temptation Island, like, I'm sorry. It is time. It is the best show on television. The show is so crazy. I'll say it again. If this was a Netflix show, it would be bigger than like Love is Blind and Too Hot to Handle. Like, it is so much better than most of what's on TV. It was 10 times more entertaining than Matt James' season of The Bachelor.
Oh, yeah.
10 times more entertaining. Yeah. And the thing is, because it's on like USA Network or whatever, it doesn't get the hype it deserves. Mm-hmm. So good. You guys, do not sleep on Temptation Island. You can watch it on Hulu. It's like so good. So I'm not going to spill much tea other than the fact, if you know that Kendall is a loser. That's all we'll say. And then Bridgerton, I did spill the tea last week, but in case you don't follow me on Instagram, so Jean Paul, what's his name? I always say Paul. No, Jean.
It's it's Paige. It's Paige.
Paige. Jean what? Is it Paige? Jean.
Is it like John? Oh, frick, no, now I can't remember.
Guys,
what it is.
I did a whole spill the tea segment and I said his name wrong. And me and Mackenzie had already edited it. Edited it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a weird word to say. So I made her go back and like dub smash my voice.
So funny.
Saying his name correctly. So it sounded so awkward.
Okay, I think it's Reggae.
Oh, Reggae. Am I kidding?
I think it's Reggae Jean Page.
I think it's Reggae.
Or is it Jean?
No, it's definitely Jean. Oh my God. You know,
at least now I'm remembering that's what you said.
You know why
Spill the Tea.
I'm getting Reggae confused because I kept calling him Reggae.
Yeah. It honestly might be though. Like, I've never heard anyone say it. So
it's Reggae. It is. Okay. It's Reggae Jean Page.
Yeah.
Guys, I called him Reggae Jean Paul.
You said it so fast, though, you couldn't even tell.
You know why? Because there's a designer, Jean-Paul Gaultier or whatever.
Yeah.
I keep getting there. That's why I'm saying Jean and Paul.
Right.
I keep, for some reason, my brain is like...
It just like goes together.
Interchanging the names.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is why sometimes I'm like, I would love to be a celebrity news reporter. And then the other side of me is like, I can't be on E! News. I can't even say.
Oh yeah, no.
I mess up
name.
everyone's. It's just with names. It's like this weird thing where you say it and then you get a mental block and then you keep just saying it wrong.
Yep. And then you keep saying it and it doesn't sound regular. It sounds wrong. Yeah, it's horrible.
Anyway, guys, long way to say this man, Simon, that plays Simon on Bridgerton, is no longer coming back. And people are really confused for a lot of reasons. Mainly because we fell in love with him. Like, he's the reason why most of us watched the show, because he was so hot. And it's kind of like, I get it. Everyone's commenting saying he's not, season 2 focuses on a different character. He's not the main focus. I get it. But like, since when do shows exactly follow the books?
Right.
Like, it's not always exclusive that you have to follow.
Yeah.
I think he just like got a lot of opportunities and was like, I just don't want to be this Simon anymore.
Yeah, because he played it. He did so well in the first season that he was probably getting like knocks at his door. Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's kind of smart because like if you look at the One Tree Hill people, they talk about a lot how a lot of them had a really hard times becoming actors after the show.
Yeah.
Because they were so typecast since they were on it for like 8 or so seasons.
Like 9 seasons, I think.
Yeah, that they had a really hard time getting another job after the show because everyone just assumed that they were exactly like
their characters. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
So it was kind of smart for him to like get in and get out.
Yeah, exactly. Like get the recognition he needed.
Yeah.
And then that was all he needed.
And there's rumors that he's going to be Bond, which I think would be cool.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Yeah, because he's so hot.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, that's today's tea. Just a reminder that I do have that giveaway on TikTok for my merch. So make sure that you're following all of my accounts and entering that. These self-care club, I keep calling them tumblers and people that don't watch it visually were like, what the hell is a Tumblr? They thought I was talking about a blog.
Oh, like Tumblr.
So
like
I'm going to call
website?
this water bottle from now on. These Self-Care Club water bottles are now available. Tired and Sexy merch is up. And then I will have a whole new merch collection for spring. So thank you guys so much. I will talk to you next week.